So week 9. So this is a week that I'll be giving myself some extra time for my third track if I don't complete it during the time that I give myself. I feel like it will be the longest track because I'm combining two hip hop subgenres together to make something different than what I usually would. To do this, I'll need my MacBook speakers, the Focusrite audio interface, the Moto audio interface, plugins, audio effects, my MIDI keyboard, Logic Pro 11, headphones and YouTube. Just scroll down a bit please, Brendan. Week 10, after completing my 3 tracks, I'll be making an EP on SoundCloud and uploading my tracks to it. I'll then send the Logic session to Simon and Mario and then link my SoundCloud profile on my Wix website. For this I'll need SoundCloud, my MacBook, my Logic to get the sessions from, and then the Logic sessions themselves. And I'll be saving all the audio files in the sessions as packages and then bouncing them down to MP3s and then putting them on SoundCloud. Week 11, so this will be the second to last week of the project, and I aim to start my evaluation at the start of the week. This gives me 2 full weeks to fully evaluate the project as a whole and gives me time to double check I have met all the requirements for all the tasks. I'll just need my MacBook for that. And then for the last week, this is the last week before the project is handed in, so I'll be making sure that everything is there and there are no mistakes. And then I'll also be looking at everyone else's work to see if mine's up to standard with what everyone else has done and if I'm happy with what I've done. And then just to double check that I've not missed anything. And I'll need my MacBook and the Wix website. And now if I just go up to my sources. So there's 3 primary ones first. No, up. Bit more. Bit more.
Bit more.
Yeah. So that's number 2. There we go, that's number 1. So, for my first primary research source, I chose to analyse Role Model by Eminem. I think this is one of his songs that has a feel of boom bap because of the way the beat is constructed and the way the bass layers the kick drums when it's played. And there is double tracking on some words like legally, battle, answer this in the first verse. Some of it's really subtle and some of it's really present in the mix, like in the chorus, with words like explain to my brain, I'm in pain, and I'll be using double tracking for my first track when I record Sava's vocals like Dr. Dre did with Eminem for this track. And I played this track earlier, so I won't play it again. So next one. So for my second primary research choice, I've chosen the debut album Illmatic by Nas, which was produced by big producers in hip hop such as DJ Premier, Q-Tip and Pete Rock. I know Nas is classed as boom bap, but some of the songs from this album have an old school feel, and the drums will be a massive inspiration for my second track as well, as the melodies used they're heavily influenced by piano and keyboard. This album uses samples, and I will show you what songs use pianos as the melodies from this album. So if we go for The World Is Yours first. Yeah.
Make your browser fast.
Got love adverts, guys.
Make your browser safe.
Whose world is this? The world is yours. The world is yours. It's mine, it's mine, it's mine. Whose world is this? It's mine, it's mine, it's mine. Whose world is this? The world is yours. The world is yours.
Good. So that was a sample of a track used from a song called, is it I Love Music, Sava?
I don't know.
It could be I Love Music. It's the Ahmad Jamal trio, and that's chopped up from the that's a chopped up version of the piano in the song. If you go to the next link, no, the one underneath that one, yeah. And that just showcases the album as a whole. And then if you go back And below that, we've got New York State of Mind, which is also another song which contains a piano for the melody.
With a big one from Ariel.
Another
Ditch the
sample as
Danish.
well.
We got big on bright. Nice one, big one.
Hit reset for whiter teeth in one day with Oral-B Clinical Intensive Whitening.
Yeah, yeah. Yo, Black, it's time, word. Word, it's time, it's time, man. Alright.
That was good, Brendan. So that's more of an old school type beat more than boom bap, which Nas is known for. And I do like the drums on that track. And then if you play, there should be another link if you go down further. Maybe not. There's a sample breakdown of the whole album. It might be further down actually. If you go to primary source, I don't think I'll put it in there. There was a breakdown of the whole sample of the whole album. That there was a guy called Ouija Breakdowns who did a full album breakdown. It was inspired by Tracklibs. It's not actually by Tracklib, but he does a really good job. And then primary source 3, I've chosen Notorious B.I.G.'s Unbelievable, and I'm going to I've analysed that. The melody is made of a sample which is chopped, and DJ Premier describes the chops as stabs, which he also uses stabs in the other Notorious B.I.G. song, Kick in the Door, from his second studio album, Life After Death. And I'm inspired by DJ Premier by this track because the drums are different to what he usually does, and I also want to use stabs like he does for this track. If you scroll down, there's a link for this track as well.
With a big one from Ariel. Ditch the Danish. We got big on bright. Nice one, big one.
This is what it looks like when you say yes to it. To flying when it suits you.
So good. So the Biggie Smalls is the illest is from another Notorious B.I.G. song where he says that, and DJ Premier has put it into his sampler. I think it was a MPC drum machine, I don't know which one, possibly a 600. And that song was actually recorded after the album was finished. Biggie went to DJ Premier and said, I want one more song, I want like a street song, like sort of gritty. He talks about it in the next link. If you want to play that next link, Brendan. It's called So What's Up. It's a whole series on songs that he's produced.
What's up, y'all? I'm DJ Premier, and I present to
Different
you So
artists.
What's Up.
Okay, computer.
So
Run
if you
it
skip
back.
it forward a bit,
Because he used to always hang out with the whole Junior Mafia. Every time we used to go to the store to get our 40s and just have a good weekend. He would always see Big, and he would always talk about us working. So when it came down to the album already being turned in, and Juicy was going to be the first single as a definite, he wanted to get a street record for the B-side so he could hold the streets down because he already knew he was going to have radio on.
yeah, that's all good, Brendan.
Calls me.
So he wanted a street record for the B side, even though the album was already completed. And DJ Premier later says, about a minute later, he says they didn't have time to do it, but he did it anyway because they lived like down the road from each other. And it's probably one of Biggie's best beats, probably one of Biggie's best songs. And then moving on to my secondary sources, I've chosen a website called Fat Cat Beats that goes into depth about how to make a boom bap beat. I chose this because I wanted to get more knowledge and differ my tracks on this EP to my other boom bap songs that I've made before, just so the drums don't sound the same. And I'm going to put this into effect and practice this before I make my third track, which will combine boom bap and old school together. But I'll be using a boom bap beat for that, but it will sound different. If you want to just go to the website, Brendan. It just explains that boom bap beats are the heart of 90s hip hop, with dusty drums, swung melodies, hard hitting bass lines, and offbeat accents. These are proven foundational techniques inspired by 90s hip hop that have worked for countless producers. It says to start with drums and set your tempo about 85 to 95, which is what a lot of hip hop is, especially from the 90s. You can go back now and I'll talk about my next source, which was Naz's Illmatic album, which, even though Naz is classed as boom bap, some of his songs have a very old school feel about them, and this is where I've put the sample breakdown.
Ever wondered where the web was born? Here, in the labs of CERN, at the foot.
So he starts with the Genesis, which is the intro for the album. But if you go to about a bit more, if you go to 3 minutes longer, there, the world is yours, and go back.
Ever wondered where the web was born?
Or maybe don't,
Here,
this is an
in
advert.
the labs of CERN, at the foot.
Just move out the way so you can see what.
Do you run a Shopify store or are a Shopify store owner and are wondering how to set up custom emails?
Brendan. So as I said, it was indeed I Love Music by the Ahmad Jamal Trio. What an amazing sample. DJ Premier, I think, produced that song. I could be wrong. And then for my third and final secondary source, I've chosen a video of DJ Premier and Q-Tip talking about Nas before Illmatic and during the recording of Illmatic. Q-Tip says that Nas would rap the lyrics to everyone in the room before going on the mic, and everyone was really enjoying it and giving it really good feedback. And then the DJ Premier clip is a bit older than the year that it's from, and he was talking about how there was 10 to 15 people with Nas in the studio. They all had headphones on, and so they could all get involved with the album, speaking on it, if they're talking to each other, or if they're maybe on the chorus of a track like Represent, which they all shout Represent in the chorus, and it's and you can definitely tell that there's more than 10 people in the studio, and it's a really good feel for the track. And that's my presentation. Is there any questions?
No.
No?
Okay.
Thank you, everyone.
That's great.